Going to a football match in the middle of pandemic feels like an undergoing injuries test in a reality TV show. A pre-match message instructs me to arrive at Hampden Park in Glasgow 3 hours before Scotland kick off against Czech Republic. I must wear a mask at all times. I must take in all food from my micro bag into a plastic bag provided by the stadium, and all the catering outlet will be shut. So never see burgers or cartons of flat Pepsi to keep me going. When I immediately turn up to stadium 3 hours early, the crowds are predictably sparse. The pub outside our ground overflow with supporters wrapped in Scotland flag looked like a tempting alternative. But when I suggest to a steward that might go get a drink ahead of the game, a look of concern crosses her kindly face. Be careful which pub you're going to, you be careful which pub you're going to, she said. They will see you coming. What is she referring to? Could it be the Dutch book bag A4 side that I'm clutching? I have given my spare ticket to Rear Scott, my friend Alastair, but he's from Edinburgh, so also not 100% at home in Glasgow. We decide to take the advice and skip the pub. Inside the stadium, we encounter fan in the loudest tartan suit I've ever seen, including a tiny tartan clutch bag. I pose for the photo with him and he tells me I had it tailor-made, son. It fits me like a glove. It is not just COVID regulation that make this unique and peculiar European tournament. Euro 2020, as the UEFA still insists on calling it, has also become sucked into the culture wars. The Football Authority and culture wars. National football team are symbol of the nation, but that is not a straightforward task at a time when national identity is so fiercely contested. The pros- uh, for Scotland, the pressing issue is independent. For England, it is race. It is race. It is race. It's a race. It is race. It is race. The English football team has decided to take the knee before matches as a protest against racism. But each time they do it, they are booed by a significant section of their own supporters. Even the government seems uncertain about how to respond. After hesitating for a while, Boris Johnson, Prime Minister, condemned the booing and urged fans to get behind the team, but two members of his cabinet, Jacob Rees-Mogg and Priti Patel, defended the protesters, are not expressing racism but condemning the Marxist of Black Lives Matter movement. Patel, Britain's Home Secretary, accused the player of indulging in gesturing politics. Players from the England team, whose pre-game press conferences are normally confined to discussing tactics, injuries, and the atmosphere inside camp, are now being asked to wear home security. It would be natural to assume that cabinet ministers are better at politics than footballers, but the Johnson government has reason to be worried of the clashing with the England team. Last year, it went down to an economic defeat when it took a market gesture over the extension of free school meals for poor families. The Manchester United and England forward mobilized millions against behind the petition and forced the government to change tack, including a Zoom call with Barack Obama. While plenty of tourists are prepared to grumble about the work in Rashford, none are willing to take him in public. The culture wars of football are not just happening in Britain. The multiracial Belgian team took the knee in Russia ahead of their opening game. They were also booed by the crowd. Russians were also protesting against Marxism. Viktor Orban, Prime Minister of Hungary, one of the host nations for 2020, defended fans who were visiting team that saying that Hungary sees the gesture as a provocation. Orban is himself a right-wing provocateur who has become a hero to the Trumpist right in America by issuing frequent warning about the elderly dangerous Europe being flooded by Muslims. Even some moderate conservatives are uncomfortable about footballers taking the knee. One prominent theory in Britain laments to me is that football is been a political space, but now the national team has become a source of division. I can see what it means. This year's tournament it never really brings in memories of Euro 96. Winning Euro 96. When England played their games at Wembley and the whole country they seemed to get behind the team in an uncomplicated sort of way. Back then, packed the stadium, all joined in the singing of the lines and football's coming home. Now the stadiums are largely empty and some of the home crowds are actually bring the place. But as somebody who has been to many England games over the years, I know that the team was never mixed up with politics or race or illusion. The football ground in the 1970s was also where I saw the most over racing that I ever witnessed in Britain. It was routine to see black flags, bark Bibles, and monkey noises. The football authorities and commentators were silent about this for many years. So if the national side feels they want to make a statement about racism, it is hard to accuse them of bringing politics into a political space. But now the national team has become a source of division. I can see what it means. This year's tournament it never really brings back memories of Euro 96. 1996. When England also played their games at Wembley, 이것도 했는데. Far right support, no, when England played Wembley, back then practice all joining him. Now the team are larger and some of the crowds actually. But some who has been playing, and I know that they people in England games have always attracted a substantial number of Saudi hooligans and far right supporters, whose pre-game press conferences are normally confined to discussing tactics injuries. England have always attracted the far-right support trademarked. England games have always attracted a substantial number of Saudi hooligans, far-right supporters whose trademark chant is "No surrender to the RA." At the last European Football Championship in France in 2016, the ugly tradition of English football hooliganism re-emerged. When I remarked to another fan that I didn't particularly enjoy being caught up in a near riot outside a bar in Marseille, I was told curtly, "If you don't like it, you should stay at home and watch the game on television." Football ground in the 1970s was also where I saw the most over racism that I ever witnessed in Britain. It was routine to see black players spark rivals and monkey noises. The football authorities and commentators were silent about this for many years, so if the national side don't want to make a statement about racism, it is hard to accuse them of bringing police into the political space. But now the national team has a source of division. The last European tour in France, they will influence the other Portuguese being called on no surrender, whose trademark chant is "No surrender to the area." At the last European Football Championship in France in 2016, the ugly tradition of English football hooliganism re-emerged. When I remarked to another fan that I didn't particularly enjoy being caught up in a riot outside of bar Marseille, I was told, "If you don't like it, you should stay at home and watch the game on television." Football ground in the 1970s were also where I saw the most over racing that I ever witnessed. It was routine to see black clicks, bark Bibles, and monkey noises. The football authorities and commentators were silent about this for many years, so if the national side will then want to make a statement about racism, it is hard to accuse them of bringing police into the political space. But now the national team has a source of division about the space. The authorities compare with Salah. If the nation said they want to make celebrities hard to concern. The police, the particular racial police, have always been there. The identity issues are rather different for Scotland. Euro 2020 comes as the Scottish government is ramping up demand for a second independent referendum. This is the first major international tournament the team has qualified for since 1998, neatly fitting the narrative of national revival. Arriving in Scotland for the first game of the tournament, I find the local paper full of optimism. In recognition of the enormity of the occasion, the Scottish government has even allowed schools start lessons to allow the kids to watch the game against X Live. As a visiting English fan, I wonder how I feel about all this. I grew up supporting Scotland in big international tournaments. I had little options since England failed to qualify for the World Cup in 1974 and 1978, but British identity was less complicated back then. The anthem played for the Scotland side that lined up to play Brazil in 1974 was "God Save the Queen," although two recordings on the show the Scottish play looking particularly delighted. The team has looking particularly delighted. Today, the crowd and team will be belting up "Love Scotland" with the stirring word that we can still rise now and be the nation again. When Scotland qualified for the World Cup in 1973, there were more than 9,000 people inside Hampden. But today, thanks to COVID, it's a little over 9,000. Far from the joyous return to the big time that has been advertised, it feels pretty black and lonely on the stands. Even if the Tartar army has been reduced to little more than a couple of battalions, they belt tough "Love Scotland" loud enough to drown out the conversation. The team start the game with all the expected pressure and steam forward. Their captain Andy Robertson can be seen gesturing to his player to calm down, then the Czech score and they are sucked out of the stadium. Our stadium. Out of the stadium. At halftime, we saw two spent in the toilet next to hand dryer, the warmest spot in Hampton. There's a hopeful chatter around the unit that Scotland might be able to turn this round. But early in the second half, football history is made by the Czechs. The football history is made. The team centre forward gets the ball on the halfway line and floats ball about the Scottish goalkeeper into the net. It is one of the most brilliant goals any of us will ever witness. The crowd is now almost totally silent apart from a tiny group of cheering jacks on the other side of the stadium and a group of children near me who continue happily shouting postgarden, while the dirt around them was frozen in horror. After the match, Alastair reminds me that Scottish fans are used to bitter disappointment. Making the national football team a symbol of the nation is double-edged sword. But what if your goalkeeper floundering flown his back and tangled them in the net? Euro 2020 already delivered humbling setback for two football-mad populace leaders. Orban gave permission for capacity crowds to attend Hungary's opening games in Budapest against Portugal, only to see the national side lose 3-0. Recep Erdogan, president of Turkey, traveled to Azerbaijan and sat in a place of honor next to Azerbaijan, from where he was able to see Turkey go down to a 2-0 defeat against Wales. Now the national team has become a source of division. I can see what it means this year's tournament inevitably brings my memories of Euro 96. Euro 96. Euro 96. Euro 96. Ambulance effort for two football match publicity. Not to the base, England also have a disappointing most ardent fan. The side often portrays as the embodiment of what we like to believe are national characteristics: courage, calmness, and pressure. In fact, as a recent piece by Joanna Lee in The Guardian pointed out, England are uniquely bad at holding a lead in a tournament. The numbers seem to suggest they might even be battlers. And that or heresy, the French and Italians are much better at holding their nerve when they take risks. If Gareth Southgate, the England manager, can somehow break this cycle and turn England into winning outfit, he will inevitably provide a huge boost to the Johnson government that is desperate for symbols of the success of Brexit Britain. But Southgate has subtly but unmistakably positioned himself to the left of the government, taking the knee. He leads a multiracial team and has continued to defend their right to make statements other than football. It has become accepted wisdom in Britain that culture wars always work better for the right than the left. It has always worked for the right than the left. The football may be an exception. A poll taken across Europe before in 2020 showed that 54% of England football fans supported taking the knee, with 39% opposed. If the England team keep winning, the number in favor may rise, along with the team's popularity. For once, the right may find itself on the wrong end of a culture war. For the duration of Euro 2020, I will care much less about who is the culture war than who is the tournament. It's taking place in the middle of a pandemic. The stadiums are quarter full and England are playing half decently. I am allowing myself to hope for the weirdest outcome of the lot, an England victory.